Hi, and welcome to my channel. Um, this is my first, hopefully successful video tutorial, and we are going to create hair cards quick and easy using an add-on called Behemox Hair Generator. I already have it installed. Behemox Hair Generator is available from Behemox Studio for about 20 bucks. And it's a pretty economical hair generator add-on for Blender compared to other add-ons, compared to other hair generator add-ons. And for me, this has been a game changer. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do is smite Mr. Cube. Bye-bye. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a Bezier sphere. I use Quick Select. There are tutorials on how to apply commands to Quick Select. So Quick Select Bezier curve. All right. We're going to grab the Bezier curve along the y-axis and bring it forward some. Go into Edit, S, Y, 0. That straightens out the Bezier curve. Now we're going to even out the control points there so that they're roughly the same size. Next, I'm going to Shift and left click and turn off the middle and outer control points. With the inner control point selected, grab y-axis, and now we've created a profile curve that will give a bit of volume to our hair card curves. Okay. If you don't have Behemox installed, if you bought it and haven't installed it, excuse me. Edit, Preferences, search for your Behemox download, and it shows up there. You'll click on that checkbox so that it turns white. Alright, got Behemox turned on. But by default, that white box, if you've just downloaded it, that white box will be blank. So you click on it to get the white check mark. Alright, hit N on your sidebar, and there's Behemox right there. Now the first thing we're going to do is add mesh UV sphere. Add mesh UV sphere. Let's see. Let's bring that Bezier curve forward a little more. Okay. Go with the UV sphere selected. Go into Edit mode. Subdivide. And add one level of subdivision to your UV sphere. And you can also shade smooth if you want. Alright. Now the reason we picked a UV sphere is because a UV sphere has a evenly laid out UV map. And when we start planting our first hair strands to look like hair cards, they will align with the layout of the UV sphere, which makes it very easy without having to rely on twists and curl and things like that. I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's see here. We got Behemox activated. We got our sphere, UV sphere, laid out. Create hair. Now, below the sphere, you will see the first hair group, blank, empty hair group, I guess, has been created. We got all our sculpt functions over here. We got select, add, delete, let's see, density, which I don't really mess with, comb, snake hook, grow and shrink, pinch, puff, smooth, slide, and annotate we ain't messing with. All right. So we're going to place our first hair strand. So let's get over into adding our first hair strand. I'm going to turn on, I'm not going to do any double side work because that's going to lead to a longer tutorial. What we're just here to do is show you how these lay out. Plant your first hair strand. And as you can see, it looks kind of like a needle. Something I should have done, probably brought that out, the length out to about 1 and the point count to 20. So I'm going to delete this hair strand, add a new one. There, that's a bit longer, that'll work. And like I said, it looks like a needle. So, go back into object mode, select that hair strand. Then you'll come over to the Behemox functions over here, and you can click on this eyedropper. We're going to create the profile shape for that hair. So we click on the eyedropper, we come down to the Bezier curve, click on it, and now, as you can see, it looks more like a hair card. It's flat, but it has volume. The reason we added the volume is because when you start adding additional hair, if you look at it side on, you may find some bald spots if this was perfectly flat. So we give it a little volume to try and avoid that as much as possible. Next thing we're going to want to do is change the shape. So come over here to the modifiers, and we're going to change the shape a little bit so that the hair looks more like your typical hair card, rectangular, but it still retains its volume. Then I'm going to show you something here. Come up to Object Properties, Viewport Display, and turn on the wireframe. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of topology, a lot of geometry on this. We want to reduce that. So, come back over to the modifiers, come down to Mesh Resolution, Vertical, 8, Horizontal, 3. Now, you can see it has a lot less topology, but it still retains its volume. Okay, that's been planted. Everything I plant afterwards, as far as hair guides, will follow these parameters. So we're going to place our next hair guide. Go down to Sculpt Mode, making sure, of course, that the hair guide itself has been selected, because the next additions are going to be based off of this. Alright, we want to place our next hair guide. We're looking at this side view, right orthographic, numpad 3. Click on Add. We're going to add it just a little bit further down the side of the UV mesh. And we're going to add one more. We're going to rotate this. We're going to add one more toward the back of the mesh. Now we can actually start combing the hair. Oh, make sure your collision is turned on. Now, when you start combing the hair, it retains its conformity to the layout of the UV mesh. Now, when you're you only have to comb it down a little bit, because then what we're going to do is we're going to take these and slide them up, further up the UV sphere. And as you can see, it retains its orientation. Same for here. And same for here. All right, now we can comb these down a little more, and with the collision turned on, it pretty much just sticks to the surface. Doesn't break through. All right, now if you want to add a little more length, come over here to length and just start adding some length. Left click and just wiggle your mouse till you reach the desired length. If you want to shrink, you hold down the control button or the control key and then hold down control key, left click, and as you can see, when you wiggle your mouse, it reduces the length. But we're going to grow it back out. All right, now we can start placing the children cards. Come back over to add. Make sure your all points are turned on. Count of 1. Projected. Come over here. Curve shape. Click on length, shape, and point count. That way your children will emulate the characteristics of your hair guides. So we're going to come down here, F to reduce the cursor, and watch this. Your children are retaining the orientation of your hair guides. And we can now go into comb. And as you can see, if I can get this to working, all right, there we go. All right. Let's see, we got a bit of a bald patch up there. All right, comb it down, and then you can, when you use grow and shrink, let's see, turn this checkbox on for scale uniform. And this will try to scale multiple curves as close to each other as possible. Change the size of your cursor if you want to reduce the influence. All right, we're going to comb this in a little bit more. All right, and that's pretty much a down and dirty way to create hair cards easily in Blender using Behemox hair generator. And there you go. I did a more advanced tutorial, but because of the nature of my computer basically dying, I had to do things the hard way, and I thought, let's just simplify it. So there you go. We've created hair cards quickly and simply. Wait, we're not finished yet. Now, to make these true hair cards, we come up to this button, convert to mesh, and it retains the geometry. The hair cards retain the geometry they had when they were curves. Now they are meshes. And there you go. Thank you for your time. I hope I was able to demonstrate this clearly enough. So have a good day, have fun, and go tell your friends, and your friends tell their friends, and so forth and so on.